AI was not used in the creation of this podcast. This is the Social Geek Radio Network. It's the Franchise News Podcast for Wednesday, April 8th, 2026. I'm Jack Munson, and I read the news so you don't have to. Today's news is brought to you by CareerPlug and Thunderly. Are your FranDev marketing agencies, content creators, and PR teams really working together? Learn how Thunderly's amplified integrated marketing can drive franchise development growth at thunderlymarketing.com. Top story this week, the International Franchise Professionals Group, IFPG, has acquired Business Alliance, Inc., BAI, a franchise broker network with more than 35 years of history. Don Deskowski, founder and CEO of IFPG, said, "Together we're building an even more powerful platform to help entrepreneurs find the right franchise opportunities while helping brands grow responsibly." Brandon Clifford, CEO of BAI, said the transaction reflects the strong alignment between the two organizations and creates new opportunities for the BAI community. Extraordinary Brands, a health and wellness franchisor platform, has acquired Basecamp Fitness, a high-intensity interval training franchise. CEO of Extraordinary Brands, Paul Flick, said, "This is exactly the type of brand we look for, a concept with a strong foundation, a clear value proposition, and meaningful mission." The Federal Trade Commission has secured a settlement against Exponential Fitness for franchise rule violations and related deceptive practices, including $17 million that will be returned to franchisees. That's the largest amount ever to be returned in a franchise case. Christopher Mufarage, director of the FTC's Bureau of Consumer Protection, said Exponential's failure to provide prospective franchisees with legally mandated information denied American workers and potential employers the ability to evaluate the costs and risks involved. Last week, Burger King announced that the brand and its franchise operators are hiring as many as 60,000 workers across the brand's 6,500 U.S. units as part of its turnaround. Tom Curtis, the brand president for U.S. and Canada, said, "We've done the important work of strengthening our operations, modernizing our restaurants, and listening to our guests. We need great people to help keep that momentum going." And an interesting partnership. The Joint Chiropractic is partnering with a car dealership in Utah, Miller Subaru, where the local Joint Clinic locations will provide chiropractic treatment for all of the dealership's 275 employees. President and CEO of the Joint Chiropractic, Sanjeev Rasdan, said the Joint has always been focused on removing barriers to care, and this partnership is a natural extension of that mission. The Franchise News is brought to you by CareerPlug, the franchise hiring experts. We all know hiring is hard. CareerPlug makes it easier with purpose-built software for franchise hiring that is systematic, not stressful. CareerPlug is offering listeners of this podcast free access to the Franchise People Playbook, its founder Clint Smith's new book, where he shares more than a decade's worth of proven strategies for building winning teams and powering franchise growth. Grab your free copy at careerplug.com/franchisors. That's careerplug.com/franchisors. In People News and Career Moves, WellBiz Brands, the franchisor of Dry Bar, Amazing Lash Studio, and more, announced the appointment of Michelle DeVore as Chief Marketing Officer. Jenna Walker is now VP of Franchise Performance at ScentHound. Code Ninjas announced the appointment of Tyler Simergian as Chief Marketing Officer. Tim Mesher joins Another Nine as Director of Real Estate and Construction. At Shoot 360, lots of promotions. Jamie Esslinger moves from CMO to COO. Scott Butcher is promoted to VP of Finance. Ashley Law is promoted to Director of Marketing. And Vanessa Vossler joins as Global Sales Director. And at McDonald's, Sky Anderson moves to the COO role for the domestic system, and Mason Smoot is now Senior VP of Global Franchising. Congratulations to all. Let's get loud. Coming up on the franchise calendar next week, it's the Canadian Franchise Association's National Convention. That's in Ottawa this year, April 18th through the 20th, and I will be serving as your MC for this entire event. The National Restaurant Association's annual show is back in the greatest city on the planet, May 16th through the 19th. International Franchise Expo from MFV Expositions in New York once again, May 29th and 30th. And if you're joining us at IFE and would like to join me for a podcast in the podcast zone, drop me a DM. I'd love to hear your story. And the new one this year is the FGMC, the Franchise Growth and Marketing Conference. That's June 2nd through the 4th in Atlanta from the IFA and Franchise Update Media. We will see you on the road. And that's the way it is in the franchise community. Thank you for listening and staying connected on the Social Geek Radio Network.